Here.
Anthony Campbell, Dan Milligan,
Here.
Jessica Thompson,
Here.
Trevor Brown,
Here.
Leanna Hoffman, here. 5 votes, we have quorum.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you have anyone would like to do invocation?
Hi, everybody. Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this wonderful weather that we've had. Thank you for the shield of protection that you had over our town here this summer. And I ask that you continue to do that as the year goes on. I ask that you watch over this meeting to where every decision we make glorifies you, and that we make decisions with clean minds and open hearts. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Mike Parsons,
Yes.
Anthony Campbell, Dan Milligan, Jessica Thompson,
Yes.
Trevor Brown,
Yes.
Leanna Hoffman,
Yes.
passed 5 votes.
The July 2025 bill.
Justin Thompson.
Yes.
Trevor Warren.
Yes.
Leon Kaufman.
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
And we have the minutes for July 14. You got one? Oh, sorry. Make a motion to approve the minutes. Make a motion to approve the minutes from July 14th.
Second.
Mike Parsons.
Yes.
Dan Milligan.
Yes.
Justin Thompson.
Yes.
Trevor Warren.
Yes.
Leon Kaufman.
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
So first up, we have the Dixon Cemetery. Jessica? I know we didn't talk about how long, we don't need like 15 minutes or so, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening.
You don't have a phone?
No, I'm going
You can use it.
I'm pretty loud anyway.
I've thrown her off, so.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Goodwin, and I'm the president of the Dixon Cemetery Board. I'm attending the council this evening to address a concern which occurred at the cemetery Saturday, May 10th this year, about 12:40 p.m. The concern is in reference to Dixon PD Officer Kamal. On May 10th, board member Jessica Goodwin, my husband, and myself were working re-leveling bases to fallen headstones in the cemetery when we observed a white male driver wearing a white shirt who was talking on his cell phone, driving a red Dodge Ram flatbed truck, pulling a red Dodge Ram flatbed truck pulling a long bed gooseneck trailer, which came onto Chestnut Street. The driver made the decision to drive through the cemetery instead of continuing on to Chestnut Street to Carthage Road. Dustin and I continue to watch the driver, knowing that we have narrow roadways not fit for big trailers. When the driver approached the four-way intersection inside the cemetery, he made a left-hand turn towards Carthage Road. When the driver made the left-hand turn, he hit a headstone located at the corner. The sound of the impact was loud enough it could be heard from where we were working. During this time, Dustin had started walking towards the driver to attempt to make contact, and I started taking photos of the truck to document the situation. The driver had stopped because he had to back up his trailer to reposition to straighten himself out before he continued making his turn to drive out of the cemetery. The driver was aware of the impact. Dustin waved his hands and yelled, trying to get the driver's attention to stop, but the driver drove away. The headstone did receive damage. After this incident, about 12:44 hours, I contacted the Cass County Sheriff's Department to inquire if there was a Dixon officer on duty so I could file a report. Cass County Dispatch stated that there was not a Dixon officer on duty, but would advise a deputy. I told them this was fine, as we're going to continue working in the cemetery. About 2:44 p.m., I called the Sheriff's Department back because no deputy had responded. I believe they stated that the Dixon officer was now on, and this is when we went to Dixon PD and we made contact with an officer. Dustin and I made contact with Officer Vermont. We reported the incident to him. He took down our ID info, our phone numbers. Officer Vermont stated that he would be on the lookout for the vehicle, and if he makes contact or has any other updates, he will call one of us, as he was on duty till 2 a.m., which I told him this was great because I was also working till 2 a.m. After making the report with Officer Vermont, I made a Facebook post on the Dixon Cemetery page in hopes that the public would provide assistance for Dixon PD. Later on that evening, I saw the same post shared by a Facebook friend where, I'll keep her name private, a female had commented saying, "Just so everyone knows, my husband spoke with a man. He did not know he hit anything and went to the PD to talk to them." Then stated later on that was her husband's truck, but someone borrowed it. The comments were of the same evening, and I waited for Officer Vermont to contact me, but we never received a call. I did not know if this statement was actually legit or not, so if someone actually came forward, I did not know. I waited till Monday, May 12th, to call Dixon PD to inquire an update. When calling Dixon PD for an update, I spoke with Dixon PD dispatch, and I let her know I have photos to send over to Officer Vermont and asked for an update if it was actually true the driver turned himself in because of what was seen on Facebook. Dispatch advised that she had heard about the incident but did not have any info. I was providing an email address to send my information to. Dispatch said that she would leave a message for Officer Vermont. On May 16th, I sent an email to Officer Vermont to follow up on the incident and sent photos along with information from Phelps County Monument in Rolla. There was a delay in sending the email as I was waiting to hear back from what the monument company had to say. I had no response from the email, so I sent a follow-up email on May 27th. And on May 28th, I received an email back from dispatch stating that she was putting all the information together for Officer Vermont. And he has been informed, and she stated, "I will follow up with him and remind him he is not one of my full-time officers. My apologies." I had not heard back from Officer Vermont, so I called Dixon PD June 6th, June 9th, June 23rd, and dispatch stated that there was no information and that he had been on vacation and he was only a part-time officer. And she sent messages to Officer Vermont, and he told her that he tried to make contact with me and with my husband with no contact. I told dispatch we have never received any calls from him or email back, so this was not true unless he had the wrong phone number, which is possible. On June 9th, when I called to let dispatch know, the monument company advised me that they'll be in the cemetery the next day. I asked her if the driver would be responsible for placing the special oil on the stone to preserve it, so I could add it to the work order, and dispatch did not know and stated that she would leave a message for Officer Vermont. On one of those June dates, I called and I left a message or a voicemail on Chief Wilfong's office phone and never received a call back. On July 4th, I called Dixon PD, which was answered by Cass County Sheriff's Department, because I had seen Officer Vermont and Chief Wilfong on duty. I requested a message be relayed to call me, and I did not care how late it was, no call returned. On July 7th, I called Dixon PD with the same results, no information. On July 11th, I called and dispatch stated, because I called and referenced the same thing. Dispatch stated, "Jessica, what is it exactly you're wanting?" This made me so upset I was floored and speechless, more or less. What am I wanting? I'm wanting an officer to do his job. I'm wanting a copy of the report. I want to know who turned themselves in. I want to know if the person's going to be responsible or not. Is it that hard? This is not how things should be going. Dispatch said that she would leave another message for Chief Wilfong and Officer Vermont. I told myself, this is the last phone call I'm making, and if I do not hear back from Dixon PD, I would come before you all, the City Council. This incident occurred in May, and I have gotten nowhere. I do not understand why I'm being pushed back on the back burner. This is what it feels like. Majority of my board members are emergency services, two being in law enforcement themselves, including myself. This is not how filing a report should be, nor the delay nor the lack of communication. When we had the juvenile shenanigans occur in the cemetery a few weeks prior to this incident, Chief Wilfong showed amazing gratitude and tended to what he felt was right for us. We appreciated him very much. Why is this any different? I had a headstone with property damage, and Dixon PD has given me silence. Because of the situation, we have placed 14 new traffic poles, metal ones, in the cemetery, with 4 poles being placed at the intersection where the headstone in question is located. These poles were placed to help protect any further damage to headstones and to keep vehicles from cutting corners and running over the foots of burial spots. Instead of a vehicle hitting a headstone now, the vehicle can hit a pole, which I will note we're not responsible for the neglect. The poles alone with labor cost $1,150, not including the gravel that we had to put down to extend the road on one side of the corner. The headstone hit belongs to Paris and Bertha Christensen, and throughout the years, this poor stone has been shot, knocked over, hit, ran over, and it's even facing the wrong direction from all the past incidents. Their burial spots are shared with Mr. Christensen's sister and brother-in-law, Romanus and Edna Cruz, whose headstone has also been shot. The headstones were shot approximately 3 to 4 years ago, possibly longer. Both stones need to be re-leveled and work done. Mr. and Mrs. Christensen were owners and operators of Christensen Dry Goods Store in Dixon back in the early years and were part of getting this town booming. They have no more immediate family around, which means the board members are their family. Everyone buried in that cemetery is our family. Just because these people have gone X amount of years does not mean we stop caring and no one should be forgotten. Most of you here have family, friends, and other loved ones buried in that cemetery, and you would not want someone causing property damage to their headstones or other property, and nothing be done. I know the driver did not do every inch of the damage of the stone, but there is damage from him. If he did turn himself into Dixon PD, not one call was relayed to me or any other board member. We never even got an apology from the driver or the vehicle owner. Our cemetery solely runs on donations and, sad to say, burial funds. And this is what keeps the cemetery going, along with countless hours of volunteer work from us board members. For what we pay for, the poles being placed in the cemetery is one payment for mowing. The information we received from the monument company was the headstone was handcrafted in 1956 when Mr. Christensen passed away, so there is not one exactly like it. Like most older headstones, everything was hand sketched, and this one happens to be a Georgia granite, which would cost a lot of money to replace the stone. The monument company would have to go in and create a stencil of the design. What they suggested is putting a special oil on it, being rubbed on the stone, where the oil would match the color of the stone to fill in all the marks, including the shotgun damage, which starts at a flat rate of $85 per hour. The oil would be better than nothing. It might not be 100% perfect, but it'd be well enough to preserve the stone. I know the driver did not do all the damage, but why not have the monument company make it worth their while and do the whole stone for the $85 for that hour? Or maybe the guy can be responsible for paying for the poles. I don't know. At this point, this all happened, and I feel like Dixon Police Department has shown no interest in this matter. Every time I call for Officer Ramal, it should have been documented and sent to the chief or assistant chief, since he was only a part-time officer. If he could not fulfill his duties to do the report, he should have passed it on to an officer who could assist us instead. If the driver would have stopped for Dustin and came forward, or if the officer would have done the job, I would not be standing here today. I do not like standing here doing this. But our families who have loved ones buried in the cemetery want answers. When they ask for an update, I simply do not have one. It makes the police department look bad, and I know I'll probably lose relationships after this, but my complaint is valid. If you were in my shoes, you would feel the same. The public is watching and notices when the whens, the whats, the wheres, and the whys of the police department. And this is why people lose faith and trust in our officers. Where do we go from here? So this copy is for you. The board, I printed out our Facebook post with the pictures and my call logs, the emails I have sent, and the pictures of the stone, including the receipt that we had to pay for the tolls.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want ruined relationships. We always had good relationships with Dixon PD. And again, Chief Wilfong was excellent with our juvenile stuff, but I'm tired of the riffraff in the cemetery. I know they can't control 24/7 in there, but those vehicles can now hit a pole, which I can easily repaint over.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So when I was on the board, they had the cemetery in the city limits, but now it looks like it's not. So do you know what happened or why, or because, like, your first recourse, that was my question, did you call county? Because according to the GIS, it would be county. And they directed you to the PD.
Well, it's been a fight for, I guess, quite some time of whose jurisdiction really is. Right.
I don't want it happening.
I don't. But, you know, if we could keep it in the city, I mean, it's closer for an officer to respond to me if I have an issue.
Yeah.
Not trying to throw the county under the bus, but I do deal with.
No, I'm not either. I don't want it to be.
They do not have enough deputies to cover the whole county. So, you know, I'll be waiting for extended period, which was noted in my thing. I waited almost 2 hours for a county to respond. And I deal with, like I said, deal with it on a daily, so. I work. But anyways.
Can we get a report, maybe?
Thank you.
Do you have, can we get with my mom and do we get a report for headstones or something? At least that one for sure.
Yes. We'll talk about it.
And then we'll try to figure out, and I'll get with Jessica.
Mary, cemetery is in the city.
Not according to GIS, Robert. If you pull it up right now, it's going to tell you that it's not.
According to the integrity, and it is.
Well, we have 3 maps printed from integrity back there that say it's not.
Has
so.
been.
It's outside city hall.
Yeah. It used to be. It was, what, 10 years ago? Val, you want to say something? Go ahead.
It's okay.
The section by the railroad is city. GIS is showing, the rest of it is county.
Okay, so that's.
We've been in a fight with it since 2019.
Okay. That'd be about right.
William has went to the county. Nothing can be found other than the Weiss and Wright edition, I think. But even GIS shows the Weiss edition as county.
Yeah.
If it's county, we have city ordinance signs in that section. We have certificate of purchases back to 1910, where the mayor, the city clerk,
They signed it. So, yeah.
We're up in the air.
She knows I've seen them, so.
We don't.
That's why I'm confused. I thought it was city, but then I'm like, well.
We don't, at one time, it may have been. We don't know.
We'll figure that out.
I mean, I can throw
This
a,
may be a really dumb question, but nonetheless, I cannot see any negatives for it to be in the city for anybody. All that would allow would be, in an event if something happened, at least the PD could go there.
Correct.
Instead of right now, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I said, it was, and now it's not, so I
I mean, not that we can offer much benefit, but at the very least, there's no negatives from it that I can see. Because it's a 501c3, I'm assuming, right? So
The
there's
original
taxes on
purchase
the property
agreement
or.
was.
That's up in the air right now.
Yeah, I just, either way,
This might be a
that's what I'm
conversation
saying.
for another Just the more
Just did
digging
the
we've
funds,
done.
Jessica,
I'm so
did the
sorry.
funds come out of the cemetery fund itself?
Yes, it
For
did.
the poles and all
It did. We paid for it for 100%.
And the cemetery will pay for the repairs. But unless you can get a police report, is that the,
I would like a report.
I mean, if they committed the damage, they should probably at least help.
I wish that they would have got ticketed, to be honest, and, want to be more technical, they left the scene of an accident. I mean, they caused property damage. I mean, and I wish that they would be liable for, something, but I don't know if it's too far gone now.
From my understanding, the driver came to the PD and talked to the officer.
I don't know.
Don't know.
To get with the
He did and said he didn't hit anything. And so then and that's all documented in the report. And that's where we're at with it, is we're still trying to figure out whether you guys are gonna have to sue the driver's insurance company, or if you're gonna have to find that driver and sue him civilly, because it's your word versus his word, and there's no way to prosecute it. And that's where we're at with it. I mean, that's what's in the report, and then I'm gonna give it to you guys, but that's literally where we're at with it. That's the reason why we're at a lull with it right now, is because he did come in and said, I'm being accused of this, but I didn't do anything. And so we have that statement as well.
What about the pictures?
that? Yeah, what about the picture?
I provided pictures and I got, of the driver, and I got pictures of the stone. And
I understand, I'm not the one prosecuting, it's not my job, we take the information and turn it over, but there's not, I mean, he drove by there and said he didn't hit it, and then you're saying that he did hit it. I mean, like I said, that's not our job, we're just collecting information, and that's the reason where we're at with
so
that.
will the report go to the prosecuting attorney? Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we can send it to the prosecutor, it'd be well, I don't know if it'd be city or county, but we'll send it to a prosecutor to look
Well,
at.
that's where we're at.
But that's what we're trying to get more information to where, and Vermont is a reserve officer, so he comes in once in a blue moon, so that's why we're in this predicament to begin with. But yeah, that's the conundrum we're in right now with that situation, because once again, he said he did come in and he talked to Vermont, I'm pretty sure that's who it was, he didn't talk to me, but I'm pretty sure he talked to Vermont and made a statement saying that yes, he went through there and he knows what he's being accused of, but he didn't hit anything. So that's why. And the driver of the truck, I mean, the owner of the truck is not going to want to be responsible and turn it on his insurance.
No, we don't.
He wasn't responsible, but at $85, if you know what I'm saying, if that's what the cost of this is, then it
It's
sounds pretty minuscule to me.
I mean, it's just the point behind it.
I say it's
And
not
you had
that-
two witnesses, would it help if my husband wrote a statement too, because he was with
Yes.
me? And he's the one who was like, hey, like,
Yeah, for sure.
and I tried to document as soon as I saw it, because he stopped. He literally like looked out his window in order to back up. He knew that he did it. So that's what's frustrating. And if you're gonna lie about it, I mean, that's on him. He has to answer for that.
And I'm not saying that didn't happen, I'm just saying with the story that he gave us. So yeah, if your husband would also make a statement, that's gonna definitely help the case. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's hard to prove that that's the truck, especially with the damage that was already on it. You know what I'm saying? That damage was there, whatever the case is. And I'm not defending, I'm just telling you where we're at with it. And I've talked to Ramon over this multiple times, matter of fact, I've messaged him, he's unanswering now, but I'm trying to figure out the best that we can. But it's, to be honest with you and completely transparent, it hasn't been in the forefront because it's a Ramon case that I haven't dealt with hands-on, you know what I'm saying? So, once I get questioned about it by Jenny, I contacted him, find out what the story is, like, okay, we need to deal with this, and then I move on to something else and forgot about it, to be completely honest. So, that's what's happening with it, but yeah, I'll talk to him and find out if your husband could come in and make a statement, then we can add that as a supplemental, and then we'll turn it to the prosecutor and see what he does with it.
Okay.
But I know that the owner of the truck versus the driver of the truck versus your story and his story, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be their deal, not ours. So I can't, it's gonna be tough to ticket, you know what I'm saying? And even if I was to ticket, you go to court, it would be the same thing. I mean, it's basically, the prosecutor's gonna have to decide the situation, but, I don't wanna say it's a civil matter, but it might turn into a civil matter. You know what I'm saying? Because of the lack of evidence of, like, if he would have stopped and said yes or no, I'm not paying for it, or whatever the case is, but he's not admitting to this property damage that he did, or supposedly did, allegedly did. So that's where we're at with it. And that's the tough part, that's the reason why it hasn't been, because that's the same thing with Ron told me. It's like, what do you want me to do? The guy said he didn't do it, and I've got the owner's information, but we can't go after the owner's insurance because he wasn't the one driving the truck. So it's a tough spot, and I don't know, and we'll look into it more and try to get it squared away for you, but, that's where we're at with it.
Whenever I called the PD, did you get all the messages, like every time that I called?
I don't know the answer. I do know that
Like,
there
was my
was,
call documented?
there was 2 or 3 times that they asked me about it, and I immediately called Ramon to find out what the status was. And I know that the last thing that him and I talked about this case was what I just said, like, I don't know what to do with it. So, I don't know when the dates were or anything like that, but, and like I said, I apologize, I'm just being 100% transparent with you, that's where it was at. After I talked to him and said, hey, we gotta do something with this, then I moved on to the 150 other things I was doing, and didn't put it in the forefront. So, we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll figure out what the right thing is to do, and I might have to talk to our attorney to find out if I need to file state or file city or what I need to do with this exactly. So
And I'm not trying to ruin anybody's life.
No,
For
and
anything,
$85
but, you could have been man enough to stop.
Right.
He knew that he did the stone. He had 4 eyes looking at him, so, but, it is what it is. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bill 2025-0073, that's the authorizing the passage, enforcement, and utilization of an amended 2025 budget for the city of Dixon. So it's been hanging, right? So we just need a first, second, and a third. Can I get a motion for a first reading?
Make a motion for the first reading of Bill 2025-0073.
Second.
And how
Thank you.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Dan Elliott?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Warren?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
And ordinance authorizing the passage, enforcement, and utilization of an amended 2025 budget for the city of Dixon. Motion for a second.
Make a motion for a second reading, Bill 2025-0073.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Dan Elliott?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Warren?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
An ordinance authorizing the passage, enforcement, and utilization of an amended 2025 budget for the city of Dixon. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mike Parsons?
Yes.
Dan Elliott?
Yes.
Justin Thompson?
Yes.
Trevor Warren?
Yes.
Leon Kaufman?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
So next we have excavation bids. So we did put these back out. Just an up-to-date statement of work, had everybody just make sure that this is what they wanted. Okay. And I think we have determined we don't need an ordinance. Is that correct? Carrie? We can accept a bid, we don't need an ordinance.
As long as, I talked to Kelly, that was part of some things that I picked up at that seminar. You have to very carefully annotate it in your records, including copies of everything and notes about what the contract is, but you can do it by motion as long as you do that.
Okay.
When you
And we're specific in the motion on who we accepted
Yes.
the bid for.
And you keep that contract in the records,
Okay,
which makes it easier.
thank you, yes.
I did a spreadsheet there on the front, we heard back from all of them except for one. So I just put on the spreadsheet the revised bid, if anybody revised. Based on the scope of work.
So I'm gonna ask the glaring question. At the point that they were asked for, or given a chance to revise the bid, was the previous bid public knowledge?
They would have been, yes, if we looked at that meeting.
It should have been thrown away, that was a question we asked.
Yeah.
That,
I asked again at the end, I thought
I
that
mean,
they
just look at you.
said, do we put it back out there again and clear and throw away all the others? Because I thought that's what we agreed on left the other night.
Well, I think I didn't necessarily understand that, but I understood that.
Well, my point was that everyone knew the bids already, so they all need to be threw away, scope of work out, and let's get new bids in.
It just, whether or not anything was done in Crockett looks really bad. It looks like we didn't like the bids we got and we shopped it around to let somebody else bid it.
And really,
That's what it looks like.
we just didn't want someone to get hurt because they were so far off.
Yeah, that,
Well, the bids didn't change, I mean.
yes, they did.
One of them did.
Yeah.
One change.
One change.
That's why.
Two change.
Oh, yeah.
Two.
One relevant change.
Yeah.
One relevant one change. That's, it looks horrible, honestly, is what this is. I don't know what the right answer is, but I don't think that, when the question was asked, this was not the understanding I had when we were trying to figure out how this was. So, because we asked about the legality of that, and it just, at the very least on the surface, this looks horrible, so.
I mean, we don't have to accept any of these, we can throw them out and start over if you want.
It's, I mean, people are going to get aggravated at this, but as far as ethically, I think that's the right answer. I do not know of any other way to do it.
I really thought that's what we walked out here the other
And
night.
that, maybe so, I'm trying to remember the best, I don't think anybody
Well, there was a
wanted this.
discussion,
No,
yeah.
I don't think anybody wanted that.
So as far as if we put it back out and we give them the statement of work, is there anything you would change?
I think the scope of work is fine, I think everything else is
Because I
fine.
think that was the question.
That
Are they
was-
bidding the same
Were they
job
doing
or
the same
not?
thing? As far as I understood, only one contractor was going to get asked a question, whether they had figured for
Yeah,
all
but
of
you
them.
can't just call and ask one person, we have to ask them all.
Well, you can call the rest of them and ask them, but one company, because in their statement, it was kind of ambiguous as far as what they had did.
Yes.
So one company, this one right here, was asked, or should have been asked, did you figure for both the stump dump and the layout? That was the only question we needed to ask.
Okay. Well, when I deal with bids, you have to address everybody with the same question. You can't just.
I don't,
ask
that
one,
was
ask
the question
one.
that was asked that night, whether we can do that. That was the question I
We
had.
have to put it all back out.
That's right. I think these are trash.
Okay.
I mean, here's the thing, I know these contractors are gonna be ticked off, and they may not bid it again, but at the very least, that's the right way to do it. Because whatever this is not.
Okay.
Just to clarify, we sent the same scope of work to everybody that bid.
Right.
And had them confirm.
Yeah, no, we apparently asked them for a revised bid.
Yes, and
That's
we
all.
had them confirm whether the scope of work that they did matched that. And they all had an opportunity to say yea or nay.
No, they got sent a statement of work for excavation services agreement, acknowledgement, and it says, understand this statement of work, in my original bid for X amount of dollars, will not fulfill or will fulfill, and the revised bid amount.
Yes.
It gave them a line to write a revised bid
And
amount.
they all had the same opportunity.
But why would we give them a,
Well, we had one that,
I mean, I guess
Well,
technically,
if the
yeah, you're
scope
right.
of work wasn't
but
right
that's-
for them, I can see why they would have a revised bid.
No, I mean, really, what my intention with my question was to ask, which we can ask them all, if they did the same thing. That was all it was. There was one that was ambiguous, whether or not they had did the complete set of work or not. That was the intention of that. But this basically gave everyone an opportunity to rebid it. And I just don't understand why we would do that after the bids were public knowledge. Doesn't that seem a little off?
Yeah, but that was the question, we had to tell them, okay, this is what everybody is bidding, so we pushed it back out to every
You're
single
talking
person.
the scope.
Yes.
Which is fine, I understand that, that's fine, it can be sent to everyone. But I don't know why we asked them for a revised bid. It's not, we didn't want a revised bid. Is your bid?
Well, they got this, and said, well, I didn't bid for that, so I need to ask.
No,
That's fine.
I think that we couldn't just ask them, right? Because the bids were all public, and so we asked one of them, say, hey, is this what you bid? No, we're gonna change ours. Well, did everyone else know?
No, I don't think they necessarily get the opportunity to change, but if we can look at it as a whole, it's like, hey, that's a good price, but they didn't have to. So we just don't go for it.
No,
That is how I saw it going down. I mean, maybe I was wrong in how I was perceiving this to go down.
I think the idea was so everyone got the same scope of work.
Right, and that's what we talked about at that time, and that's in the future, we need to make sure we do that for sure.
Yeah.
But I still think the way this was done just looks sketchy. That's the best way.
Well, if we have doubts, then let's throw it out, send them, put it out for bid again, just
Throw back out new sealed bids.
And
this
we'll
time,
seal
because
bids.
The
With
first
new
time around, we
sealed
didn't
bids.
actually have sealed bids. We
set
had
out the scope and
So we'll send out, we'll put it out again. They'll have to pick up a statement of work, or they'll meet with them and get a statement of work, and that's what they would
Make it the
bid.
exact same
Turn in a
thing.
sealed bid
Fine with that.
by a specific date.
But I really do not think that it just looks really bad.
Yeah.
The visual of this is bad.
There was a lot of back and forth, yes.
yep, just start it over.
So we'll do a sealed bid process this time.
To deny all of them, is that what we need? Or do that?
I don't know, we don't deny them, do we?
We don't, I mean, it's not
Do
like,
they need to vote to?
there's nothing saying we ever had a vote for this.
Yeah.
To do this, so.
I will note that it really did not bring them any closer to the middle. There's still a very large spread of these bids.
Yeah, the spread is large.
You know, for the same scope of work,
But I think what Trevor's saying is that,
You want the absolute truth?
Somebody changed their bid.
We can tell the truth, it's because two companies here want to do it. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
The other company don't want to hear us, but if they do it or not.
But if you throw all the bids out there, still seeing these bids, they're
I
still
know,
gonna.
that's what I'm not sure what the.
I don't think it's gonna solve any problems, it's just gonna waste a bunch of time and energy.
Probably so, the visuals of this do not look good. That's,
Lessons learned,
yeah,
so
that's all.
I think you guys are wasting a bunch of people's time by doing it.
Maybe, but.
There were two bids that didn't meet the scope of work. One didn't have the right acreage and one had rock hauling, but I guess we didn't need rock hauling, so.
well, and one, we had to haul the things away, and one of them didn't say that on there. So, I think,
So,
yeah.
you got, listen, I'm only one vote out of 5 up here right now. So
Well, no,
we
there
do not
were
have to
several
do
people that
this.
didn't like
I'm just saying that this is,
I mean,
this is just my opinion on how this
there's no bad merit here, I mean.
I understand that there was no bad intentions. The visuals, it looks really bad.
This started out as a process where we thought we were gonna get a few, like, bids to see if we
Yeah, I know,
could
we
do
did,
our
I
own.
thought we get like 2.
So we could do our own, and then we put it out to the paper, so it, from the get-go, it wasn't done how it should be, right? And then, that's why we were concerned about it being all over the place, which is why then we did the scope of work. So, Trevor's absolutely right, I mean, it's not the right way to do it, but it's definitely.
It's not a big deal. It's not like anybody really did anything wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just
No, but
saying
we need a
that-
better process, we need a consistent process.
Yeah, this is, I mean, like I said, contractors might not be happy about this, but I'm fine with that essentially. Just do it over again.
The efforts in this overlapped when we actually adopted a procurement policy as well. So we now have a procurement policy that gives us some instructions on how to let out these bids. So you can do that. That's what the council wants to do, follow a policy that we now have, which is only, it's brand new.
still. So we'll, I mean, but,
Nate, this isn't, oh my God, we gotta get it done that job, is it?
No.
Okay.
No,
it's not
third
a,
round bids. No,
Okay.
I mean, this is what it is.
Things don't always go the way we want.
so we will reissue the bids and then reseal. How long do you want to put it out for?
1 second. So when you said we put it out for bids to see what it would cost us, what is the, I mean, what are we thinking? Do we have everything to do this or not?
Do we
Yeah.
have everything to do it?
They
That's
want
how it
to,
started.
they want to rent a dozer.
We would have to rent a dozer.
Okay. So when you look at this, it wasn't anywhere close.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even know how much the number is, what people's bid, but me and him have priced dozers.
What was it?
And it's the cheapest to bid for an entire month, regardless if you bid for 2 weeks.
2 weeks is the same as a month.
I understand that. How much was it a month?
It was like 9,900 and something.
So, no, I just.
When you get the job done in 2 weeks, you rent it for a month, it really doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
It's the same price.
Plus our labor costs.
Yeah,
Two
just
costs.
us,
So,
And if the weather, something happens.
And the weather and,
It's
Yeah.
muddy
And
and.
you
and have a man down for.
And remove the man for that whole time.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
did
that's
that.
fine.
That's good.
I think it'd be better off having somebody else do it personally.
Seeing the numbers. yeah.
Seeing the numbers by far tenfold, yes, have somebody else do it. Because honestly, I mean, if it's not me or Nate, I don't trust nobody else to run a machine. Hands down.
Especially a borrowed machine, basically.
Yeah, it's a rented machine, yeah. Sorry.
Pushing trees down.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
okay.
Put it back out.
How long do you want to put it out for? 2 weeks?
It's gonna be as honest as
I don't know, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever.
Oh wait, just before we do that, is there any other changes you want to do, anything, like add anything or anything else?
Are you wanting to add on top of the soccer field behind the elementary school?
I don't know if they want to do that or not. I thought about having a bid to see how much it costs to clean up next to the elementary, make a little more parking over there, and then clean up behind,
Which direction, north of it?
yeah, right behind the elementary.
Is that where Mr. Brown's
I don't know how much it's out. Kind of, clean that, level that up a little bit, make more parking down there.
We're starting from scratch.
And down there where you guys started, behind by the creek, if you want to add that.
I'm fine, having it all.
Out of all of these, I've seen work they've all done, they'll all clean it up.
Yeah, no, it's not a question, it's like, I'm actually not sure about
Yeah.
which one gets it or out of anything.
But what I'm saying is, have bid it out, have them do it, instead of you guys taking up their time.
Yeah, no,
Are you wanting the part like Walnut Street down, from there down?
From 10th Street. No, all the way down just in Shepherd Park, where that's at.
Wait,
You guys have that?
I brush hogs that are right away up through there, but I don't know what you're talking about.
You talking about 10th Street?
Where the tetherball or the.
Oh, okay, up through there.
Kind of, yeah, go back there on our property line and kind of clean that up a little.
where's this at? Where?
Down by the soccer field.
Where the pavilion's at, where the there's like, where are those tetherball or volleyball?
Volleyball.
They have volleyball nets down there.
Yeah.
And there was sand and stuff, and just level
Sir,
it up,
are you wanting
for
to-
more parking.
Are you
That's our big issue down there is parking.
Yeah.
at the soccer field?
Yes.
I mean, they park wherever they want, I guess. So.
Yeah, I know.
Well, where I see that big old brush pile, I cleared a lot of that out. We're trying to get filled in there to make it more parking. So once that's there, that'd be great. But
I mean, if we could add it to this and that frees you up.
it's just.
that, let's just clear it.
Yeah, where else do we have to?
We don't own any wooded property whatsoever, let's just knock it out. Let's be done. I'd say I don't know if we can do a specific motion, we don't need to do a motion, do we?
I don't think so, we just put it out for bid and
So just, you guys make a list of what all you want to do.
add to it, so we'll add that to it, 'cause then that'll make it different, because that's not in the statement, so we'll add that to it.
There's a choice in the scope, probably go 30 days, bid.
You wanna go 30 days, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go 30 days. Yeah, 30 days, 2 bids, since we're changing the scope. Justin, you good with that?
Are we gonna be able to do it before budget, usual?
Probably not, it'll probably be next year.
Oh, really?
September, end of September. We're already in August.
Oh, as soon as they get to awarded, that's not.
They'll probably be able to do it immediately. It might be this year.
If we get 30 days of bill, that's already September 4th.
Well, let's do it 3 weeks then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would help us significantly.
Since we're changing it.
We're not, I mean, it's not like we're ahead of time. It's the same type of work.
I mean, it's not like we're adding 10 acres or nothing. Okay.
It'll have to go in the paper by next week.
Okay.
So we need to leave there.
We'll get it figured out. If we have to do 15 days or below that, we'll do it. Okay, so the next up we have is the water damage control assessment. So I think we had a bid for that, and then Carrie, you reached out and,
Oh, the mold assessment?
yeah. I had put this on the agenda for do you want to explain?
Well, I think the consensus is, the policy that we have, obviously, it would, help us to replace the flooring that needs to be replaced, but it's not going to help us with the mold assessment itself. With people living in the space, we need to at least do an analysis of the mold population here in the building. And, John Cable, Triangle Engineers, we've used them a lot in our current mold assessments. And the price that they're charging, just give you an evaluation and tell you what, in their opinion, needs to be remediated, is half of what the bid that came through from Thomas Construction for the assessment part. They're a very reputable company, and getting the flooring replaced and dealing with the insurance company to try to get that covered more comprehensively than the $3,600 they've given us. That's another question. But I do think we need to get the assessment done to see what we have in the building.
We had asked you to reach out to the insurance company.
I have mailed the check back, and I have written a letter to the adjuster and copied Mo-Firm. Is it Mo-Firm? So yes, that letter's gone out, so I haven't heard anything back yet.
Okay, so I think that was what we wanted right there. I think we already have this.
Yeah, but I think, the mold assessment, because you have some liability to the,
Right, but I think we already had it for that.
but it's more than twice what John Cable did.
Yeah.
And it was like an environmental, I don't know what that title was. I have to go back and look at the Thomas Construction one. So this is only 1,500, and then the one that was in the bid that you got was 3,500 to 4,500. And in your procurement policy, any bids that are less than 2,000 are not required to be let out and advertised for formal bid. And my concern is certainly the council's decision, but my concern is that we potentially have liability to the people in the building if we don't address something. I'm hoping there's nothing here. But if there is a bad mold proliferating in the building and somebody gets sick, we don't have immunity from that.
We have to bid for the other bid that we had for this.
For the Thomas? It should be in your, was that last month? If you have anything from last month, it should still be on the table. I can have that. I'm sure Trevor's got it.
I have it in an email from last month.
Did you find it in your email? No.
Yeah, it's in there. I don't know what, I'm not sure what exactly happened here.
I did what the board was requested. I got a letter to the adjuster, asked them to reopen it and said it was grossly underbid, and I copied that letter to Mo-Firm and sent the check to Mo-Firm. I didn't send the check to the adjuster. That's gone out.
That was my
And at the same time, of course, I talked to the other attorney in my office who's done multiple mold cases, and I said, what else? And so he just had me talk to Mr. Cable, at Triangle Engineering, and, he can come out and do that. Because of the liability.
and see what the insurance company comes back with.
And regardless, if your insurance is not going to cover that assessment, it's not going to do that kind of work.
Okay. Then we're good with that, we're waiting for the insurance. So next is the easement call for bids. So this is for the Brown property. We have to have easements before we can do anything over there. So do we want to, we talked a little bit to Jeff Meadows with our, but we thought we would check with you guys and see if we want to put it out for bid. I mean, we're using Archer for the treatment plant and the lead line
No.
service.
What exactly are you talking about here?
Well, before we can do anything over there,
No, I understand, but what are you saying? What are we hiring Jeff for, or whoever?
it'll be to get easements.
To do the survey?
They have sorted properties.
Okay, because the easements only come if they give us them. They have to allow us.
But with the easement comes a legal description, and we have to have a survey with an attorney
Right.
to get that legal description, to get that easement.
Should we just do a random check and make sure everyone's fine with giving easements before we spend money on the surveys?
I mean, I've talked to everybody, I've not had
I know
anybody,
one time it was a no.
well, there was one person that was a no, but that property is not involved.
Okay, that's what I figured and understood, that as long as the other ones are fine with it.
I mean, I can go over there and talk to everybody if you want to, because they're my neighbors.
Well, that would be the only thing, I just prefer we spend money to survey all and then they say they're out.
But my question was, do you just want to use our church since we have that? Or do we want to put it out for bid and see if we can get maybe a cheaper price to get the easements done from a different, we've got a ton of engineering firms.
Put it out.
You put it out for bid? Don't put it out for bid.
But, so really,
I think there's 9. Nate, are there 9 houses over there?
It's 9 homes.
9 altogether.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we put in a new sewer line and.
I'm sure, I mean,
And if they don't want to do this, I guess they don't have to, but it would be kind of dumb not to.
yeah, I mean, when they find out
We
they
can always
don't
just
pay to fix
stop
it
at
back.
our property and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not hard, that's not.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do that, I'd rather just sign that piece of paper and let us have it. Okay. So I will get with everyone, let everybody know, and then we'll. put it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's not, it's like, I don't think there'll be anything, but that's not.
So what we're in,
Yeah, then we'll put it out for bid. We gotta check with the homeowners, I wanna make sure everybody's on board with us taking that over, I'm pretty sure everybody will be.
We don't want to take over an entire state.
no.
Yeah. We want easement so we can go in there and change it.
Okay, for next budget year.
Probably, that'll be next year,
Sure.
and then we'll work on a plan on
How fast are you?
what we could do.
How fast she is.
I just need you to start working on how much it's gonna cost.
I'll probably see
It will, I mean, we can do it all, huge improvements. So,
And then maybe, I know we've kind of talked about a plan, so put something together and show them everybody. So the tax levy, we gotta have that by the end of August,
I guess September 1st.
September 1st. So probably what's gonna happen is we'll have to have a meeting before the workshop to approve that ordinance, to get that in the paper and get that out. So that's what this is about. I just need to make sure I got 4 people at that workshop.
Yep.
On the what, 18?
On the 18th.
for this month?
This month, Trevor, yes, it's a Monday. Okay, so we're changing the plan now. Justin said all Mondays are good, so I should have one.
Be a very
City
brief,
clerk update, huh?
be a very brief meeting.
Yeah, we'll move on, and then we'll do the workshop.
Archer Elegant Red States Pipeline began obtaining door tags for the second round of testing the water lines at the specific address posts throughout town, so if you see anyone driving around, putting tags on, that's I've had some people ask about that today. And then excavation near the meters will commence soon, so they said the first part of August, so that should be soon. I'm going to be attending a training in Columbia tomorrow for a work system to learn more about the onboarding process and all evaluations that they run through.
Library. Fair was successful. I got $400 in perks. And then I got everything submitted for the community development block grant. And we should hear something back in the next few months. And we should also hear something by the end of this month about the scrap tire grant for the tables. We did go live today as a UPS access point. We've had some customers in for that.
Now I have a question. You can't weigh anything, right? It has to already have the label on it.
Yeah. I'm not a UPS store or anything.
Just making sure.
Just an access point so you can drop off for packages.
My Amazon returns.
Or, I mean, I can print your labels for you as long as they generate it, which happened twice today where I had to print it for people, but as long as they're a generated label already, I can't weigh packages and generate labels or anything like that. And then, Lizzie and I are getting ready for the back to school fair. We're gonna both be there on August 11th. That's about all I got.
We have a just newly hired full-time officer that's going to be nights and weekends. He comes from Lake the Ozarks. He's going to be pretty squared away. We're excited about him. He just recently started. This week is his first full week of shifts. So we're excited about that. I'm going through active trainer shooting right now, or active shooter training right now. And then next week, actually, that's why I was trying to look and see. I think it's the same day as the school fair. We're going around to all the schools with the Pulaski County Sheriff's Department and going through our protocols for active shooter situation. And I know that there's a lot of things lacking in our SOPs over here, our policies and procedures that I'm having to get squared away. So I've been diligently diving into that for the last little bit. We're really excited about it, about being able to work with the outside agencies and get, if something was to happen in our area, squared away and safe for the community and the kids in the area. Because right now, if something was to happen, Lord forbid, it would be a nightmare logistically. Who goes where, what happens, who's in control, who's in command, where things, I mean, it would be a nightmare. So we're trying to get all of that lined out. Other than that, we have a new reserve that just put in an application we're excited about. So we're starting to get a little more staffing where it's getting out that we're looking. No longer, or we don't have black cloud open department anymore, so people are starting to come to us wanting employment. They're reputable officers and wanting to reserve. So we're going to start filling some numbers and doing some things. Summertime's kind of winding up. When it cools off, we're going to have more influx of our walkers, the drugs, all the things. So definitely be vigilant as a community. Tell your neighbors and everybody to be vigilant. Watch. Tell us when you see weird things, when you see things happen. That way, if it doesn't look like we're doing anything, we might already know. We're documenting, trying to build a case, because for some of the community don't know it's not illegal to be high, it's illegal to be in possession of. So we're trying to build a case of where it comes from, how they're getting it, what the case is. That way we can actually prosecute them and get them off the streets rather than just chase people around and play catch up. Other than that, everything's going good over in our department. we're excited about what's coming up, so.
Public Works?
We had 62 work orders, in July. We had one more outage due to the fire hydrant repair. We did fix one service line that was repaired. We had no sewer backups, water loss was at 29%. The generators behind City Hall and the police station will be completed this week. All the hydrants in the city are repaired. We did get our GIS service for the water system online. That is the track the valve at new locations, and it'll help us better maintain the water and sewer system. 4% for the June EMR, and then we did fail one vacuum sample, but we are resampling this week. And then Vince had something.
So we're actually doing a soccer tournament, and I was asking if the city does any kind of sponsors of any kind. It's our 2018 team. We have 3 teams currently. 2 of them actually have made it to regionals, which is in Branson, Missouri, this weekend. And I was just trying to see if the city would be interested in sponsoring. The entry fee is $300 for our team. The other entry fee was already covered by the other coaches he's had connections with it that way. So I'm just trying to see if it's something that you guys are interested in. If not, no big deal. I just wanted to bring it to the table.
I don't know, do we have, I think, can we do that? We can do sponsorships. I think we have another sign at DYRA, don't we?
Like an advertisement.
Yeah, I thought somebody said we purchased a sign.
So normally, like, if they win first, second, or third place, we always take a picture. And then, like, our previous sponsors, like, we'll tag previous sponsors, like, thank you for sponsoring our team. So, it's not, you know, if we do, I mean, our teams are pretty good. So, I mean, if we beat regionals, I think the next one is, I think, St. Charles. No, I think it's, I'm sorry, it's actually out of state, it's in Florida, so I don't know if we'll make it that far, but, you know, it'd be cool, I guess, but.
Are there competing teams locally?
Well, I mean, 3 teams from Dixon that we take, all of our kids that do play rec soccer, so. We have a 2015, a 2016, and a 2018 team. And 2 of the teams that we've taken have made it to regionals.
I'm getting that, we don't want to sponsor just one random team and not sponsor another one or something like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, the other team has already got a
It's like a
sponsor.
traveling team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a traveling soccer team, it's 3v3, so 3 players are on the field against 3 other players. I mean, you know, we play all surrounding, like there's teams from Arkansas, from all over the place. They just come and just compete.
I don't know whether we can or not. I don't want to just, like I said, sponsor just some random team and then next baseball season, you know, do we sponsor a team, do we not, do we sponsor a bunch of teams, how do we do that, so.
Do we need that in our budget? Carrie, would that be something we have to put in the budget if we wanted to do sponsorships?
It'll be part of your budget, yes.
I don't know that we have a line item for this year. So it'd be something we have to talk about maybe for next year.
That's fine, I just want to bring it to the table. I think it'd be a cool thing, you know, if the city actually sponsors one of our kiddos that actually, that compete and make it to the bar.
I think the city of Springfield.
I just thought I'd ask, like, there's no pressure, I'm sure we can figure it out. I just wanted to ask, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe for future reference too.
You might find another sponsor at the table or something, you never know.
Yeah, you might want to come up and see the artist that lives up there, Joe and I went to Chestnut Street. He might be able to help you out.
Talk to me afterwards, please.
All right.
There you go. You have the attorney update?
I don't have anything special other than I just will confirm, you know, after the attorney association meeting, a deeper dive into the ways that you can authorize written contracts, as long as we have a really good written record of the authorization. It can be by ordinance, by resolution, or by motion. I talked to Kelly in quite detail so she could make some judgments about, and there may be some that are important enough and big enough that you want to do an ordinance, but there may be many of them that you can do by motion as long as you keep that really good journal entry. So that's some of the things on that. Nothing else.
That'll be helpful. Anything else? I do not have anything for closed session. Does anybody else have anything for closed session? No? Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Good show.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.